Back here at Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium, we got game 2 of our doubleheader coming up. UMass Boston and Castleton University. Once again, Joe Braverman, Steve McGuire here calling the action. Steve, I don't know if you've caught your breath from that double overtime game, but I think we're all set, ready for the men to take place for UMass Boston. They're basically on the same road as the women. They're fighting for that playoff position, trying to get that home court.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit against the higher-end opponents. There's some games where they just don't have it. But tonight shouldn't be the case. This is a game where you should really have a confidence boost going into your later games of the season.
Meanwhile, for Castleton, they are looking for some kind of win. They sit at 0-12 in the conference play. They've lost 15 straight games. They started 3-2. Now they're sitting at 3-17. This would be the perfect get-right game for them if they can make it happen.
Yeah, this is the kind of game where the players that haven't gotten a lot of looks can potentially get a lot of looks. The people who aren't your big players, Malik and Xavier, can get some shots and get going as we go into the later games.
And here are our season statistics between these two. It's been a great offensive showing for UMass Boston. You see 75 points a game, shooting almost 43% from the field. They're limiting their turnovers. But as you see, rebounding is huge. Malik Lorquette has been a big factor down low in getting the rebounding margin.
Yeah, the man is a machine. Almost a walking double-double. He's going to get a lot of rebounds. I mean, when you have a team that's just not strong enough to contain most players, a player like Malik is really going to have a showing.
And now our matchup to watch, as we mentioned, Malik Lorquette. I mean, what a tremendous game he had last Saturday against Plymouth State. 28-point, 18-rebound double-double, was named the LEC Player of the Week. Comes into today as the 4th leading scorer. I mean, it's hard to stop him. It's even hard to contain him nonetheless.
Yeah, you know, I had a quick conversation with him before the game, and I said, hey, you know, you're creeping up on that 1,000-point club. You got potentially 5 games to do it. And he looked at me and said, I only need 3. I love the confidence.
Well, also he's coming off setting the new career rebound mark. He was able to do that last Saturday, so he's feeling good about that. On the other side, Trey Wright. There's been a lot of back and forth, you know, shuffling in between the lineup here for Castleton. But Trey Wright, the graduate guard from Baltimore, Maryland, has looked pretty good on the season. 7 points, 4 rebounds against Eastern Connecticut State, and he's averaging 12 a game.
Yeah, you know, when you're on a team that's not doing really well, you have to mix things up and see who can rise to the top and be your go-to. It seems like Trey Wright has filled that position.
Now let's look at our sneak peek at the Beaks, as it's a very, very busy week. We just had our basketball doubleheader. On the 10th, we've got ice hockey playing. The women are on the road. They'll take on Plymouth State starting at 6, and the men will be a few feet down at the rink against Skidmore College. That starts at 7. Saturday is a very busy day. Indoor track meet at Westfield State University. That's taking place all day. You've got a basketball doubleheader at Rhode Island College, the women and the men starting at 1. Then you got a hockey doubleheader. The women are at Castleton starting at 3. And then the men are once again at home against Castleton. That starts at 4. Let's take a look at our head coaching breakdown here between these two. How about Jason Harris in his 8th season for UMass Boston? He just continues to get better and better. As you see, they're tied with Southern Maine right now for the 3rd seed. If anyone's going to get that late season push, it's going to be Harris.
Yeah, you know, I'm a big fan of Jason Harris. Seeing that this is his 8th season, it means I'm 8 seasons out of basketball. But it's been great to watch him develop this team. You know, he came in, had to basically refresh the entire roster, and has done a great job developing this program ever since.
And how about Paul Culpo on the other side for Castleton? As we mentioned, it's a struggling season for the Spartans, but Culpo knows when you're in a stretch like that. I mean, look, he's had a winning record in 7 of his first 10 seasons, so this is sort of an off year, but you want that experience on the sideline.
You want somebody who knows what they're doing. Even though it's a down season, there's going to be some bright spots that he can build off of for next year.
So we are about 2 minutes away. They'll be introducing our starting lineups in just a few moments. How about the individual leaders for both teams? You're going to see a lot of number 21 in white for the individual leaders. Look at that. Points, field goals, rebounds. But someone who's really come on strong is Manny Zayas, the sophomore guard from Hollywood, Florida. He's become a very strong point guard and a shooter despite his size.
Yeah, you know, he's really feeling that role. Xavier was out for a couple games with injuries, and Manuel Zayas took it upon himself to really fill that role. And, I mean, we need some three-point shooting on this team, and he's filling the gap perfectly.
Yeah, and even you see Xavier McKenzie, still leading in free throw percentage despite missing a couple of games due to injury. So he's still getting worked back into the lineup. On the other side for Castleton, again, a lot of moving parts. You have Trey Wright, your leading scorer. Someone to really keep an eye on, though, is Justin Schwarzbeck, junior forward from Newburgh, New York. You see it, he's a shooter. He leads in three-pointers. He leads in free throw percentage. He's averaging 1.3 blocks per game as well. So not only can he shoot, but he can defend.
Interesting. A little bit of does a little bit of everything. Somebody who can play in the post and shoot outside. I like stretch five.
So here's your starting five for both sides as they are getting announced. On UMass's side, Bobby Joy, you got Emmanuel Zayas, Mariano Rodriguez, Tommy Burris, and Malik Lorquette. On the other side, Castleton, you got Wright, Schwarzbeck, John Walsh is also in there, Carter Mackey, and Jordan Hunt. So they're about to introduce the starting lineups. What do you think are the big keys for UMass's side of things? They're still pushing for the playoffs. They're sitting in that third seed right now, looking at the standings. They're holding a slight gap over Southern Maine, Eastern Connecticut, and UMass Dartmouth. How do they do it?
Well, with tonight's game, the key is teams you're supposed to beat up on have to beat up on. You can't make this game competitive or close. This game has to be a thorough beating. Otherwise, you're not doing your job. Not the sign of a really good team.
So again, this is there's 3 games left after tonight. We'll give you a full schedule of it as you see the lineups taking place. I got to go back to, because I was here versus Plymouth State. What an unbelievable performance. And there was one play. I don't know if you follow obviously you follow our socials as a former alum. Malik Lorquette with maybe the play of the year, the season, the century, whatever it is. His poster slam was maybe one of the best plays I've ever seen since I've become a broadcaster.
Yeah, SC Top 10 did not pay attention to the hashtag. They should have been on there, but it was a fantastic play. It's what you're supposed to do. When you're that big and that athletic, dunk everything.
And we do have that replay for you. We will show you later on in the game, as it was it blew our mind away. I mean, we had Max Clifford up here a few minutes ago, and we're still talking about it less than a week later. It was an absolutely unbelievable play and an unbelievable performance as well for the team, coming off an 82-66 win against Plymouth State back on Saturday.
Just like what you're supposed to do. A team you're supposed to beat, you got to beat them thoroughly to prove a point.
You see the starters getting introduced there for UMass Boston. A couple of moments away from starting the game. 3 games left in the season. At Rhode Island, Southern Maine, Keene State. Again, as of right now, UMass Boston is in position to host a quarterfinal matchup. They've got to have a strong performance these last couple of games to keep it that way. They are only half a game up on Eastern Connecticut.
Got to play that. You're playing the entire playoff. Advantages to the 1 seed always.
Tip-off is just a few moments away. See Castleton taking the court. UMass taking the course. Lorquette and Mackey are going to jump it up. Beacons are ready to go here again. Castleton have lost 15 straight games, hoping not to make it 16. As here come the men of UMass Boston. Tommy Burris starts with it at the top of the key. There's the handoff to Rodriguez. Zayas is there. Extra pass, Burris, corner 3, knocks it down.
Exactly how you want to start the game. Good drive and kick.
Now back the other way comes Wright. Now to the elbow. Down low, this is Hunt. Extra pass out for Wright. Around the perimeter, over to Walsh. Quick passes here for the Spartans. Wright is going to step back for 3. Off the mark, there's Lorquette as he continues to add to his career rebound leading total. Lorquette, he has a lane, gets to Rodriguez. Bobby Joy is there, he fakes it. Loses the handle, but goes Burris. Burris will back it out. Reset for the Beaks.
Little slop, but you can tell Beacons are so much quicker than Castleton.
Right at the free throw line. Here's Lorquette looking to drive in. Has it stripped and loses the possession out of bounds.
Definitely got pushed a little bit, but get it going here.
And Beacons come in the top 3 in points per game in the conference. They are the league leader, conference leader in free throw percentage. Defensively, they've got the 2nd most blocks per game. Tough finish there by Mackey, off the mark. Zayas comes up with the possession. Over to Joy. Rodriguez steps into it, knocks it down.
This is exactly what you want. This is the type of the game where your three-point shooters can get a lot of looks, and they get that rhythm for the rest of the games.
And what's interesting, Steve, is that the Beaks are 6th in the conference with a 32% three-point percentage. First 2 shots, first 2 threes.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good. This is the type of game where you need to get that percentage up because you don't have to force it to Malik and really get stagnant. You can get a lot of wide open looks.
Zayas now looking for options. Goes back out top. Swings it over to Joy. Down low in the post for Lorquette. Gets out of the double. Bobby Joy, 3-pointer. The Beaks are rolling here. 3 for 3 from the field. 3 for 3 from 3. They've got a 9-0 lead over the Spartans.
It's exactly the start you were hoping for. Just dominate right off the bat.
And you're seeing the strategy for the Spartans, at least. They're double teaming Lorquette. That's opening up all these other guys for these shots. And so far, they're knocking them down. Walsh fakes it, drives, and a reaching foul. Is going to be on Manny Zayas? I believe it will be. And not a strong game from Zayas. He was in a lot of foul trouble. Not the strongest game we saw out of him last Saturday. Walsh down low. This is Mackey trying to turn in. Oh, nice move to get free, and Mackey scores. Working Lorquette in the post.
Textbook post move, very nice.
He's got the old Kurt Rambis goggles.
I was
going to
say, that's exactly the type of move I would expect from somebody in the glasses, in the rec specs.
Burris off the mark. Hunt grabs the rebound. Here's Walsh. Good play on the fast break. Walsh just cutting into the paint for the easy layup. There's now Joy. Like a stretched out sort of 2-1-2 zone.
Yeah, something funky. Just showing how to push him off that three-point line a little bit.
Rodriguez off the mark on the 3. That's Schwartzbeck on the rebound. And got a foul here. This one looks like it'll be against Burris.
Yeah.
Trey Wright going right up the floor, getting himself some free throws.
Hard foul. It's a good first foul of the game. Hard.
Interesting enough, these past couple of possessions, Spartans have been able to score off the fast break. You have to think they're going to be pushing the pace all game long.
Yeah, I think one thing that is transition defense. There's a lot of confusion on who guards. And in transition, you just guard whoever. You have to stop the fast break before you can figure out defense.
Wright misses the first. He comes into today a 59% free throw shooter. You see Xavier McKenzie check back in. McKenzie, as mentioned, he's coming off an injury.
I was here for that injury against the Keene State game. Guy played on a bum ankle for 40 minutes. It was really impressive. He showed a lot of heart for a freshman.
Heavy pressure on the perimeter here. McKenzie goes cross-court to Zayas, tracking it down. Zayas facing a triple team there. McKenzie backs it out. 9 on the shot clock here. Zayas fakes it to Burris. Now McKenzie drives in. Scoop layup, no good. Tip by Lorquette is off. Rebound to Mackey. Here goes Wright, coast to coast. Schwartzbeck, back to Mackey. Three-pointer, front rims it. Rebound to Connor Walden, who checked in. And Connor Walden has become, he had a great game last Saturday. The freshman from Marshfield. 11 points, 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, and 3 rebounds, all coming off the bench. We have an early timeout taken.
I was here for Connor's coming out party. The kid, freshman comes into the game and has no hesitancy pulling the three-pointer. which as a three-point shooter myself, I love it. You have to have confidence. You have to know you're the best shooter in the building.
Take a look at one of those buckets that UMass Boston has been scoring on their 9-5 lead early on. Take a look at Zayas right here. Easy pass for Burris. Right there in the corner. Again, they started 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Then just the exclamation point there by Bobby Joy.
So here's the thing. Now you have 3 3-pointers that have gone in. They changed the defensive strategy up. You have to change your offensive strategy up. Now the passes have to go inside out. You're not going to get these wide open threes because they're pressing you off that point line.
And not only that, but it's heavy zone pressure. Like
Yeah.
you get right past half court, they're right in your face.
Yeah, which is tough. It's kind of disorienting. You can't get close to the 3-point line. You're going to have some flashes and some passes to the elbows.
Now Hunt going to right. Right in the corner, 3-pointer off the mark. Here comes Zayas the other way. Zayas now to the free throw line for Walden. Walden stripped for the moment. Trying to go over the top of Marquette. Oh, good play by Hunt from behind to knock it away.
Help defense.
Here comes Walsh. Walsh going to take it himself, and he puts it in. How about that? The Beacons start out with a 9-0 run. Now the Spartans are going on a 7-0 run and have got it down to 2.
Team that's lost this many games in a row, this is kind of unacceptable.
Off the mark, Walden, offensive rebound. You got to give credit to that Spartan defense. As you said, they changed their strategy, and so far it's working.
Yeah, they changed it quick. Decided immediately they needed to do something different, and it's going well.
Kenzie. Over to Zayas. Zayas has the space. Off the mark. Rebound is tipped, and it's gathered by Walsh. Here they come on the fast break. Walsh to right. Right drives in. Blocked by Burris. He gets it back. Now gets it over. 3-pointer for Walsh. Off the mark. And it hit the shot clock, which is part of out of bounds.
So what's happening is you can tell that elbow pass, the pass to the high post is blocked. They have 3 guys there. The elbow. Have to get short corner and corner, do some work. Get it deep in the corner, get it inside that way, and figure out how you get the ball back out.
Joy, top of the key, finds Walden. Walden, I called him last Saturday your prototypical stretch 4.
Yeah.
Guy's got some length, but he can also shoot.
That's a great job. That's the job I played in college, and it's a fun one. You can kind of bang around with the big guys, don't have to run as much on defense, and then can run and try and get some shots on the other side.
Hunt off the mark on the turnaround. Here comes Ike Luo, just checked in. He's going to take it himself into the lane, and he scores. Ike Luo has had a very strong season. He started out slow, but the sophomore forward from Princeton, New Jersey, starting to become a key piece off the bench.
Yeah, and that's a smart play. Instead of letting them set up their zone and pressure you, just drive past them before they have a chance.
Right, keeping it himself, right on the baseline, goes back out top. This is Schwartzbeck. Off the mark on the 3, and a push from behind on Mackey. Back up his foul.
Heavy Kurt Rambis vibe from him. Love it.
Got to put an over-under on how many references to Rambis we're going to make there. And I believe Rambis did wear number 40 as well, so.
That's all. He did it on purpose. He had to.
You know, everyone's got their favorite players like Jordan or LeBron. Nope, Kurt Rambis.
Kurt Rambis.
How about there's Lorquette on the offensive rebound, streaking in. Hey, no disrespect to Rambis. He's a great player. He's an all-timer.
Southern California native. I'm a big Rambis fan. Lakers all the way.
Here comes Wright. Right at the elbow. That's Moo Moore. Come the Beaks the other way. They've got that lead back to 6. And see, Spartans have kind of eased up on their pressure defense a little bit. Not a ton of pressure. Walden off the mark on the 3.
But you can see how the offense changed with man-on-man defense. There's so much more confidence.
The drive by right off the mark by Joy. And that feels like it's a strategy there from Coach Copo. Maybe give him a different defense every time up the floor. McKenzie backs it up.
It does get frustrating.
Bobby Joy, top of the key, goes in and out. Schwartzbeck on the miss. Beaks started off hot. 3 of 3. Now they're 5 of 12. Started 3 of 3. They're 2 of 9 since then. Including 0 of 4 from 3. Schwartzbeck going for a baseline drive. Now finds more. As it's stripped, I think Ilua got in there, got a hand on it. Here comes McKenzie. Over to Ilua, swinging it around the perimeter.
Yep.
And this is going to be a foul going against Moore. He gets called for it, working on the post with Lorquette.
Yeah, little too aggressive, trying to fight over the top of it.
Timeout taken here, 11:06 to go. It's a 6-point lead, 13-7. Beaks on top. Take a look again, one of those plays. Watch here from the baseline. Tommy Burris, the big-time rejection. How about Ike Alua floating on in? And Lorquette, right place, right time on the offensive rebound.
I mean, that's what it is with the league, too, with rebounds. It's not necessarily he's bigger than everybody else. He's not jumping higher than everybody else. He just knows where to be to get the rebound. That's what it is. I had a teammate when I played, got 24 rebounds one game. The guy couldn't, if he jumped, you couldn't get a piece of paper out from under his feet. But he was just in the right spot at the right times.
It's almost like everything falling right into your lap.
Yeah. He would fight you for rebounds, too. It was great. We had a couple turnovers because he wanted the rebound more than his teammate.
Hey, you love to see it. You love to see that sort of intensity. So, again, 11:06 to go. 6-point lead. Beacon's currently in 3rd place in the conference. They have the tiebreaker over Southern Maine. They have a half-game lead over Eastern Connecticut. Here goes Lorquette now driving in. No good. Went for the second chance bucket. And he does get the foul.
Yeah, this is the type of game where he's going to get a lot of free throws. Get those passes to work, he's going to get a lot of free throws.
Now Lorquette will get himself to the free throw line. Again, Lorquette with just a phenomenal week. Reigning conference player of the week. 28 points, 10 of 20 shooting, 8 of 11 for the free throw line. Also had a measly 18 rebounds as well. Become the new career leader in total rebounds for men's basketball here at UMass Boston.
Guys, led ball somewhere. See his picture in the library for years to come.
And even talking to him post-game, he joined us after that. He and this team have a lot of confidence and they feel like they can make a strong run no matter where they're seated.
Yeah, I think that's
big
true.
time three-pointer there by Schwartzbeck.
I think the best thing about Malik Lorquette is he never gets shaken. No matter what's happening in the game, he's calm, cool, collected, and he does his job. He still does the thing he's supposed to do. And I've always respected that about him.
McKenzie going to Joy. Joy cross court for Rodriguez. Extra pass, Ilua. Corner 3. Can't answer. Fighting for the rebound is Moore. Heading down to the court. Now the other way, Brandon Cahill. Cahill staying with it. Heavy pressure here from McKenzie. It's almost like the roles reversed. Now the Beaks are playing some heavy pressure D.
Pushing him way out to half court. Oh, yeah.
And how about McKenzie coming up with the steal? He's got an open lane, and he's going to easily lay it in. That's your standard defense into offense.
I respect that about number 20. Got his pocket picked. Instead of fouling Xavier, which I thought was coming, he just let him have his layup and accepted the fact that he got beat on that play.
Yeah, it was a lot of isolation there on that last time up down the floor.
Yeah, you got to send a screen up there or something. Help a guy out.
And Fortsman gets called for a travel. As he was running out of space on that baseline. Bobby Joy with some pressure. Now Trey Wright will check back in. Beaks are now 6 of 16 from the floor. But they've yet to make a three-pointer since hitting 3 straight. And McKenzie, good play on the tip by Fortsman, coming up with the steal. Now trying to advance it for Moore. Moore tries to save it. Tracked down by Schwartzbexel. That was a dangerous play. Luckily, Spartans save it and keep the possession.
It's pretty hectic, pretty hectic.
But you saw what they were trying to do. They were trying to run. Oh, Rodriguez from behind. Almost got the steal.
Yeah, Beacon's looking pretty good right now. They got the speed advantage, they got the intensity.
So we're seeing some subs here. Zayas is in. Mackey and Hunt are also back in. Interesting enough, this is a team in Castleton. They don't look like they're playing 3 and 7. They have a record of 17.
No, I mean, what I can tell is that they're got the skills. They're making good passes, finishing, or they're fumbling the ball. There's some good bright spots there.
Just correcting things at the scorer's table. Walsh makes the inbound. He gets it over to Wright. Five on the shot clock here. Wright driving in, trying to get a shot off. Oh, Lorquette. Emphatic swat. Wright was trying to shake him. Lorquette was not going anywhere.
Malik just
Zayas now down low. Lorquette. No good. Gets his own miss. Fighting for it with 3 green jerseys, and he draws the foul out of it.
You could just tell Malik that whole time on defense had his hand cocked back, just ready to go. He was waiting for him to make his move. That's a good shot.
How about Lorquette on the offensive rebound? He had 3 green jerseys around him, but somehow kept the possession and was able to draw the foul.
I thought we were gonna have flashback. I thought I'd dunk on him.
Funny, every time you see him get a full head of steam, could be anything that could go down. Get the senior forward from Sharon, Mass. Got the second one to go. Lead now at 7. Tommy Burris back on the floor. He just checked in. There's now Hunt over to Wright. Walsh down low. Turn around for Mackey off the mark. And it's going to go off Fortsman, the official says. It's going to be Beacon's ball. Referees, by the way, Chris Devlin, Gavin Flanagan, and Brad Zapinas on the floor calling tonight's game. Here comes that zone pressure again. Zayas goes up. Lorquette, extra pass. Tommy Burris. Got to get full credit to Lorquette there on that pass. Caught it and threw it away in midair. Heads up play.
Beautiful. And Manny Zayas on the play recognizes that they're going to be able to shift if he catches the ball. So he's already moving before he caught the ball to drive. It was a really good play by Manny.
We'll get a timeout there. Now taken by Castleton. 20-10 is our score. Let's look at Malik Lorquette's emphatic rejection. Once again, he wasn't getting shaken by it at all. First, we'll see McKenzie here on the fast break, able to get the steal and the score. Here's Lorquette's block. Wright tried every move in the book and could not shake Malik Lorquette.
And that's the sign of a really good shot blocker. Somebody who doesn't bite at pump fakes, who stays grounded and just knows when to move.
So 20-10 is our score, 7:54 to go. Again, so far, Beacons they started really hot. They've cooled off, but now they're sort of back, seems like, in an offensive rhythm. They're shooting 7 of 18, 4 of 10 from the floor. See how Castleton tries to respond. They're only 4 of 17 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3.
You got to love the fact that UMass boss says, I played, we didn't even have fans.
Yeah, it's a good-looking crowd here on a Wednesday night. Wright loses the handle. Rodriguez takes it away. Over to McKenzie. He's going to take it himself. Goes strong on the layup over Mackey.
He knew he was getting free throws or a bucket. That's the only options he had.
It's kind of similar to a play that Meg Dixon did in the women's game. Had a 2-on-1. It looked like the obvious pass, but instead taking it themselves. Zayas, Rodriguez back to Zayas, off another steal. Castleton, that's the 5th turnover so far on the night. Lorquette in heavy trouble. Over to McKenzie. McKenzie now gets to the inside. Crafty move by McKenzie. Outside, inside, and the easy scoop layup.
It's such a good combination, him and Malik. You got somebody who's established in the post, and you got Xavier who can go from the inside out, and then you're surrounded by shooters. Makes for a competitive team.
Yeah, McKenzie had a great start to the year, but that injury just really derailed him. Now he's just trying to get healthy again, as here goes Zayas. Doesn't get the bounce on the layup, and the foul was called. I was wondering if he established himself in bounds. Looked like he did. And Trey Wright's going to get called for the foul here.
Like got a knee in the quad.
A 30-second timeout here. As looking at Zayas here, he looked okay. Was a hard hit, as you said. So now you're starting to see the Beacons slowly pull away. It's not coming at you all of a sudden. They're slowly and surely doing it.
Yeah, it's not crazy dominant. It's not like some 11-0 run, but it's just smooth and steady. It's how it's supposed to be.
Let's watch the three-pointer again from Tommy Burris right before the initial timeout. It's really the pass by Lorquette here. Watch the play again.
In the air, yeah.
It's almost like Lorquette knew that the double and the triple team was coming. So he kind of like told the guys ahead of time. It's almost like he told them the other end of the floor during the huddle, being like, hey, every time I catch the ball, they're going to double team. They're going to triple team me. You guys just stay on the arc. You're going to get the ball.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's a zone that on the face of it looks like it's really high pressure. But what it is just they're extended. As soon as that ball went into them, they just turned and followed the ball, collapsed in. Be wide open on three.
McKenzie off the inbound. Stays with it right in front of the Castleton bench. Gets it to Lorquette. Lorquette's going to find Zayas. 7 on the shot clock here. Zayas going to pull up. Off the mark, and Rodriguez. He got some ups on that rebound. Burris, he tries to put it in. No. Rebound goes to Schwartzbeck. Here's Wright with the crossover. Layup no good. Followed by Carter Mackey. Knocks it in.
There's the thorn on the Beacon side. Transition defense. This is a good game to get better at it. This isn't the best team, but they're going to try to get out and run. You have to perfect your transition defense.
By the way, that was the first field goal for first set of points for Castleton since 10:45.
Ouch.
Nearly 5 minutes. I mean, we saw the same thing in the men's game when they took on Plymouth State. McKenzie all alone in the corner.
If McKenzie can develop a three-point shot, he's going to be deadly his junior and senior year. He'll be terrifying.
Beacon's currently on a 13-2 run. Lorquette stays with it. Oh, good block by Schwartzbeck from behind. Like Lorquette on the catch, just too far under the basket, looked like.
Yeah, no pass, no real shot.
Goes Walsh. Good play there. Sort of a off-angle layup as he was driving on the baseline. Kenzie now up to Zayas. So back and forth right at half court. Walden's going to check back in. Kenzie again left alone. Off the mark, and the rebound goes to Walsh. Comes Walsh running the floor, and he draws the foul on Burris.
That's what you like. You like to see somebody aggressively saying, I'm going to guard the ball, but you don't got to bump them in the fast break. Too aggressive.
That is the second personal foul to go on Burris. He's going to come out for Walden.
I'm a big fan of Burris's game. Just kind of swing man. hits the three-pointers when they need him, but he gets steals, he gets rebounds, he gets blocks. I like the way he plays.
Bobby Joy also checked in. Here's Schwartzbeck. We talked about his shooting, and there it is. Three-pointer for Schwartzbeck coming off a 6-point, 5-rebound performance. Ranks in the top 13 in three-point percentage. Walden, quick pass to Lorquette, stays with it. Joy in the corner. Off the mark, and Hunt gets the rebound.
The right plays, that's exactly how you get the zone to break down, but Connor could hold that ball for a couple more seconds and not just feed it right to Malik.
Here's Wright setting up the offense. Zayas giving him pressure. Wright breaking free. No call. Three-pointer for Mackey. Off the mark. Ball finds Hunt. Schwartzbeck's going to try it. No. And Bobby Joy comes in to grab it. Joy quickly up the floor. Right back to him into the middle. Floater. In and out. Rebound to Mackey. And, Zayas almost looking like Jose Alvarado with that steal. And Wright unable to hit. Bobby Joy up ahead. Here's Walden. Can't hit it. And back and forth these two teams go up the floor. Wright, Schwartzbeck, three-pointer. Nails it. Same spot he hit the first one. Back to single digits, 27-20.
Coach Jason Harris is going to let them know a thing or two right now.
3:10 to go. And the Beacons with a 7-point lead. Let's show you again a couple of plays from that last stretch. Check out the swing pass, and McKenzie left all alone. As you said, you get that shot, you got to hit it. So 3:10 to go. It looks like here, this is going to be a real defensive battle. I mean, the offense might be there now and again, but you just saw it up and down the floor on the fast break. It seems like the defense is really going to be the big key as we get into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, all of Castleton's stuff is going to come off of maybe bad shots by the Beacons and going into fast break. Their half-court offense is not good. We're getting a lot of steals on just swing passes. So we have to eliminate bad shots on this end that lead to fast break points for Castleton.
Meanwhile, Castleton, you've got to be impressed with the fact they're able to hang with a strong offense like UMass Boston.
Yeah, it's incredibly impressive. It's not what I expected. Number 23 is shooting the lights out right now. They have one scoring threat currently, and it's a three-point shooter, so somebody has to.
And Justin Schwartzbeck just hitting a couple of three-pointers, both from the right wing. Here's Joy. Now into the corner. Ilua trying to get in there. Floater, short, rebound right.
They have the right idea. They're kind of testing the waters a little bit, penetrating a little bit to see who bites. Got to get a better shot at the end of that.
Right on the crossover to the corner for Walsh. Three-pointer, in and out. Rebound McKenzie.
If Castleton had one more three-point shooter, this would be a much different game because they've had quite a few looks for people besides Schwartzbeck.
Here's Joy. Down low for Lorquette. Here comes the double. Tries to get it out. Zayas just saves it. Now to Bobby Joy. Top of the key three. Off the mark. Rebound Hunt. And now quickly up the floor they go to Schwartzbeck. Extra pass for Walsh. Nice play on the flash. How about the Spartans here? Only down 5. Down by as much as 14. And an offensive foul on Lorquette.
You know, if Coach Harris was a bit more old school, they might be running lines at halftime. There's just no excuse to have one player beat an entire team of Beacons on a fast break like that for a wide open layup.
You mentioned Schwartzbeck. He's got 9 points, 3 rebounds, and he just had the big assist there.
Yeah.
You'd have to wonder in the second half, maybe Coach Harris might tell these guys, hey, don't look at that record of 3-17, 0-12. These guys are good, and we might have taken them too lightly.
That feels like what's happening right here. They're having a little bit too much fun. Castleton got some confidence.
Coming up on the final 90 seconds here. Three-pointer for Mackey, and he gets it to go. It's now a 3-point game. 2-point game, I should say, off of that 3. They're now 4 of 13 here from beyond the arc. Nice, here's McKenzie.
This pressure is pretty stifling with the 3 people blocking the inbound passes. It's tough.
And Zayas has it poked up from behind. Here comes Wright.
4 on 3.
Over to Mackey. Mackey with a head of steam and a foul on Bobby Joy. Reaching in there. And we'll have to see if this is on the floor. And it's the 16th foul. They're going to call it on the floor. Beak 1 foul away from getting the Spartans in the bonus. Catch and shoot for Mackey off the mark. Meanwhile, the Beaks, as you said, they're cooling off now, 35% from the field. And Tommy Burris couldn't corral the rebound.
Yeah, they're not really sure what to do against this zone off. Got to get some stops on defense and not let them set it up at all.
I think they maybe underlooked the size also that Castleton might be presenting. You got Hunt at 6'3", Mackey at 6'5", Sportsbeck at 6'4", but he's playing on the perimeter.
Yeah, they're big.
When you have that much size in the lineup, giving you that pressure on the perimeter, as you said, it makes it difficult.
Yeah, it looks pretty stifling when there's that many big guys in front of you.
Sportsman, and that goes off the foot of Wright. This will be a backcourt violation. That is the 8th turnover for Castleton, and we saw this in the first half last Saturday against Plymouth State for the Beacons. They've got 7 turnovers right now. They had 10 turnovers in the first half against Plymouth State. Went into the second half, only committed 2.
Yep. This is a team that really does halftime adjustments really well. They'll figure out what to do, but in the interim, they got to figure out what to do with this.
And boy, Bobby Joy had it poked out in the corner. Beacons maintain the possession, 6 on the shot clock, though. You'd have to think they got to find a way to get Lorquette involved at some point. Joy out top for Zayas. Zayas with 4 on the shot clock. Crafty move, high layup, no. And a shot clock violation. That's another turnover. Make it 8.
Tough, very tough.
And now 17 seconds left in the first half. Castleton with a chance to tie or even take the lead heading into halftime.
Coach Harris, that's not hard to see even a little bit.
Spartans currently right now on a 15-3 run here to end this half. Walsh backs it out. Wright slowing it down, 4 seconds to go. Wright looking to drive, extra pass, Moore fall away and draws the foul. And Moo Moore will get himself to the line. Second personal on Bobby Joy with 0.6 to go on the clock. We'll see with the sophomore from Cleveland if he can get both of these in and maybe tie this game up heading into halftime. And he can't. More on the year is around a 65%. Second one does not go. Tipped out with 0.1 on the clock. And Castleton keeps it. This is going to be, I believe Tommy Heinsohn once said, it's got to be the best tip drill in basketball history. Either that or the quickest catch and shoot ever.
0.1. Don't even know if there's time to poke it out of the air.
And Wright's going to do it. And Schwartzbeck, he did get a hand in there.
It's a good attempt.
A little bit off the mark, and that does it here for the first half. So Beacons were in control, but all of a sudden the Spartans, with a 15-3 run, have cut this game down to 2. Very interesting turn of events here in that last part of the first.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, a disappointing first half. You know, had some spurts of magic, but Beacons really didn't know what to do with the zone defense that was presented to them. Hopefully they can make some adjustments at halftime and figure it out.
So we head into halftime. Beacons up 2. Meanwhile, the last time that the Beacons played, as we mentioned, was last Saturday against Plymouth State. It was kind of a chaotic day, but eventually the men did get to play on the court, and what a game it was that the Beacons played against Plymouth State. We'll show you what happened there. Until then, it's halftime here at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium, 27-25, UMass on top of Castleton.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Passion's love.
The 5-campus UMass system is the university that educates the workforce of Massachusetts. We recognize that we are truly here for a reason, and that recognition inspires us and drives us every single day.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
(27-25) here at halftime. Beacons lead over the Spartans. As promised, here is what the Beacons did against the Panthers last Saturday in what was a wild day.
Men's basketball looking to snap a 3-game losing streak on Saturday afternoon against Plymouth State University and improve to 7-5 in Little East Conference play. And just like with the women's game, it would be raining threes for the men as well. Mariana Olivia Rodriguez from the corner, and then Manny Zayas up top give the Beacons a 6-5 lead, and then Bobby Joy caps off a run for the Beacons with a 3 of his own. It's 9-5 in favor of the home team, but Plymouth State responding with a 9-0 run. Connor Walden breaks it up with a 3, makes it 14-12. But then the dunk of the day, the dunk of the season, the dunk possibly of the year in the nation, Malik Lorquette goes high over Avery Hazelton, who's a towering 6'9" center for Plymouth State, and he just posterizes him down low. You see it in slow-mo there, and just like that, momentum would shift in favor of the Beacons, and they would roll the rest of the way. Lorquette with a layup down low helps put the Beacons up by 5, and then Connor Walden goes to work with the layup of his own. Beacons up by 7 at that point. We head to the second half, an 8-0 run to start the second half. Tommy Burris capping it off with a 3 to make it an 11-point game, and then right back to Walden, who finished this game with 11 points off the bench in 14 minutes, 4 of 8 shooting. You see his last layup there, and one opportunity makes it a big double-digit lead for the Beacons, but then right back to Malik Lorquette, who had himself a big day, 28 points, 18 rebounds, his 17th double-double of the season, 10 of 20 shooting in 36 minutes for the big man, and then an emphatic dunk right there in the late stages of the second half. And then to cap off his big day, he sets the rebound record, breaking Terry Kennedy's record of 788 career rebounds. He gets 789 after his 18 rebound performance. The Beacons get a big 82-66 win at home to improve to 7-5 in conference play. The Beacons will look to keep the good times rolling on Wednesday night against Castleton University at home at 7:30 p.m.
The floor. Great win by the Beacons over the Panthers. Of course, we mentioned it. Play of the day, play of the season, play of everything was Malik Lorquette. In fact, I want to see it one more time, just how good that dunk was. It took my breath away. Unbelievable. Let's watch the play one more time. Gets it to Lorquette. He's going to drive and look out below Malik Lorquette. Emphatic. Absolutely emphatic. He didn't want the massage. He wanted the facial on Avery Hazelton.
How about that for the
And
first
that's a
non-3-point field goal of the game?
Avery
Malik
Hazelton.
Lorquette.
He's going to remember his whole college career defined. He's like, you had a good time.
He's only a freshman too, so he's still got plenty of time to redeem himself. Man. But yeah, as you said, not a good start, but unbelievable start. I mean, Max Clifford's right behind us. He was losing his mind. What an unbelievable play it was. But that's in the past. Let's talk about now. 27-25, the Beacons lead over the Spartans. Let's look at your halftime stats right now. What stands out to you? Obviously, we talked about it, that Beaks went on a big run, then they got cold, and the Spartans came on a big run, and now they're only down 2.
Yeah, the big thing that stands out to me is Malik. Only 1 for 4 right now. He's just not getting a lot of looks because they're double or triple teaming him every time. And the rest of the team has to realize if they get him the ball, other things will open up. You just got to get him the ball.
Yeah, McKenzie is actually taking the most shots. He's 4 of 9. He's the Beaks leading scorer with 9 points. But meanwhile, as a team, you look at that. Only 30% shooting from the field, only 33 from 3. But look at the turnovers. This is a team that averages just getting the numbers real quick, 14 turnovers a game, which is second in the conference, and they've already got 8.
Yeah, I mean, those numbers are not the numbers you should put up against a team that hasn't won a game in 16 games. You have to do better than this against teams you're supposed to beat.
And I know the number 28.6 for Castleton is deceiving on the three-point mark, but the way they were shooting the ball in the latter half of the first half was very, very impressive, and it starts with Justin Schwartzbeck.
Yeah, as I said, if they had one more three-point shooter on this team, it would be a deadly team because Schwartzbeck can knock him down, but other players are getting plenty of looks. They just can't knock him down.
Seeing the numbers right there. Also a +2 advantage on the rebounding margin for the Beaks. The assists are also down a little bit. League scorer for Castleton is Schwartzbeck with 9. John Walsh has 8. Carter Mackey has 7. The only other player that scored is Trey Wright with his lone free throw. So let's look also at the LEC scoreboard all around the men's side. And this is game 2 of the doubleheader. We have our first final, Eastern Connecticut knocking off Rhode Island College 82-54. Again, these are teams that are high up on the mark. East Con, again, one of those teams that's jumbled. They're 7-6, so they have to keep winning to maintain pace. Meanwhile, Rhode Island College is getting difficult and more difficult for them to try and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's so funny. In my era, Eastern Connecticut and Rhode Island College were the dominant teams in the LEC. It's just interesting to be here now and see us up there and Keene State being, in the top 10 of the country.
Meanwhile, you have the other team right in the middle, Southern Maine and Plymouth State, 63-44, Southern Maine on top. So again, Beacons, they've got to keep winning out if they see East Con and Southern Maine. If they keep winning, Beacons got to keep winning as well. We also have one game out there, UMass Dartmouth and Keene State. Keene State, a nationally ranked team among D3. It is 56-43, the Owls on top. I mean, can you believe the Keene State? They're now 4th, or I should say they're still 6th, nationally ranked in the D3 poll, sitting at 13-0 in conference play, 21-1 overall.
Yeah, it's super impressive. I mean, Keene State's always been a thorn in my side just because of the crowd they bring around. Their fans follow them everywhere. It's kind of, it's got to be a fun atmosphere to play in if you're that good of a team and you have that big of a fan base. It's got to be tough to beat them.
So now 5 minutes away, you see both teams on the floor. warming up to start the second half. We're going to be taking a couple of commercials, but we'll be right back for half number 2 between the Beaks and the Spartans. It is 27-25, UMass on top.
Comprehensive learning is being able to adapt to experiences and apply the things that I learned. Being an athlete and juggling academics helped me grow as a person, and things that I've learned, I was able to apply it in another field, putting them into everyday life. Developing comprehensive learning helped me prioritize certain things to make sure I get to where I want to be.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
I'm the first undergraduate alumnus to lead this university. I'm very proud of that. I was literally able to transform my life because of the University of Massachusetts, and I want that for every single student that walks through the door.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Back at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium, second half, just a minute away between the Beacons and the Spartans. Joe Braverman, Steve McGuire here. 27-25 is our score. Steve, we talked about it briefly at halftime, but for UMass, it's almost like they were kind of caught off guard by how good Castleton really is, despite them being 3-17 overall.
It happens sometimes, but what ends up happening is you think, oh, this is going to be an easy game. We can kind of just go out there and do whatever we want. We're going to win. This is college basketball. They're still going to be competitive athletes. They're still going to be capable of scoring points. You have to come out here, play just as hard as you would against Keene State, win by 30.
And so we saw it in that second half, a lot of stretching the defense on the zone. We talked about that a lot, and it's troubling UMass Boston. Is there any specific strategy that you have to do to try and overcome that type of defense?
Yeah, you know, with a stretch defense like that, that's blocking the pass to the elbow, makes it really tough against the zone. The ball has to get to the corner, and you have to hit somebody either dropping from that high post position or hitting Malik in that short corner, which would open some stuff up.
Yeah, again, very quiet numbers for Lorquette. 4 points, 1 of 4 shooting. He's got 6 rebounds as well, adding on to his career rebounding lead. He's almost at 800. He left Saturday, the new leader, at 789. Do the math. He's 5 away. 5 rebounds, he'll get 800.
For Malik, is important. He has his back to the basket a lot. The double and triple teamer come from behind. He needs to face up and get some drives so he can see what's cut his way.
Spartans here starting with the possession, hoping to tie this thing up. Again, they were down by as much as 14 in that first half. That three-pointer goes short. Bobby Joy connecting with that rebound. Starting 5 on the floor for each squad. This is Rodriguez. Over to Lorquette. Lorquette, there's the triple team, stays with the possession, and there's a reach-in foul. And it looks like that's what Castleton, we saw it early on, and they stuck with it that whole first half. Once Lorquette gets the hand on the ball, there's an immediate double team. Once he makes that move, the triple team comes.
I like the change of pace, though. It's getting him up high, letting him turn around and face a little bit, so he can at least see the floor. What's going to happen now is you're going to get some open shots. That triple.
Second personal foul to go on Schwartzbeck. Zayas off the mark on the 3. Here comes Walsh back the other way and backed away in a hurry. Hand off to Wright. Wright's going to do a little hop step. Backs it out. Mackey, three-pointer, knocks it down, and the Spartans have their first lead of the game.
That is not what you want to see.
Rodriguez, too high for Zayas. Another turnover there. That's number 9 on the night for the Beacon.
That's the person who needs to find the ball is Manny in that corner. He'll be behind 3 defensive players. He can have more looks and opportunities.
Both teams are now 5 of 16 from the three-point line as Lorquette with another emphatic rejection.
Too much confidence after that last three-pointer. He thought he'd go to the basket on Malik. I had to remind him.
Carter Mackey attached. Lorquette was attached to his hip and didn't let him go anywhere. Now Wright here on the inbound. Fourth Beck. Over in the corner. He's got Wright looking for Wright in the poke. Good play by Zayas poking from behind. Up ahead now to Joy. Joy gets into the paint. Oh, what a find to Lorquette. The turn and hook off the mark, though. Boy, Beacons cannot buy a bucket here so far. First minute and a half.
Yeah, a little quick move on Malik because he knew that double team was coming, so he tried to get the shot up pretty quickly. Still got to stay calm and maintain possession like that.
Mackey left alone. Off the mark on the 3. There's another rebound for Lorquette. Zayas now to Rodriguez. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to find Lorquette in the post. Burris loses it. Joy now looking for options. Over to Zayas. Zayas. Burris has it stripped and a foul call by going on Wright.
Beacons just look kind of out of sorts right now. They don't really know what they're trying to do on offense. They don't know if they want to find Malik, if they drive. They got to figure out what they want to do.
Give and go here. Zayas stays with it, though. There's Lorquette. Zayas fakes it. Now from just inside the arc. In and out.
Those are the looks we want. We just got to knock them down.
Here comes Wright quickly. And Zayas called for the foul. No basket, though. Zayas picks up his second personal. McKenzie's coming back into the game in a hurry. And we kind of touched upon it briefly in the first half. Those changing defensive shows that you're seeing from the Spartans, you have to think that's rattling the Beacons. Here's Walsh, short on the 3. And somehow Mackey's able to save it, but it goes right to the Beaks.
Yeah, there's different defensive. Oh.
Zayas with a head of steam. Keep it going, Malik Lorquette. Another throwdown. Not quite the poster we saw on Saturday, but he had a head of steam, and he throws down the hammer.
He must have seen the highlights. Guy got out of the way.
And Lorquette, now he does it on the other end with the block. And now you have to think there's some kind of energy off of that.
Yeah, you know what ends up happening is you've been playing kind of crummy this whole game. You get a dunk and a block, and now the ball is yours. This could be the transition point where you kind of Castleton realizes they're outmatched.
And I think our other partner, Max, said it on Saturday right before the dunk. Sometimes you take your frustration out on a throwdown. That was a whole lot of frustration.
Yeah, that was nice. Single leg takeoff, and just he was up there.
We will definitely have multiple angles on that replay. And on the out-of-bounds play, they go right to Joy, excuse me. And Joy's going to get himself to the free throw line. And it's almost like the offense has to sort of rediscover itself with what the Spartans are presenting.
Yeah, if you change defense every time down, it just gets, there's no rhythm. You don't really know what's working because you haven't had to try it.
Now here goes Bobby Joy, junior from Harwich, Mass. Unable to hit the first on the year. Joy is an 83% free throw shooter. Only his, wow, and he goes 0 for 2. He only missed 6 free throws heading into tonight. Now he just went 0 for 2.
That's something you can't do. You know, you just potentially shift the momentum back in favor. You miss 2 free throws, and then you foul on the rebound way away from the Castleton's basket.
There's a change here by Coach Harris. He's bringing the full court press. Going man to man. Right. Now down low for Mackey. Mackey in the post. Turning. And somehow, wow. Normally it's Lorquette doing the muscling, but Carter Mackey is muscling his way to the basket. Now Joy to Zayas. Now into the corner. Rodriguez, three-pointer, short. Rebound to Schwartzbeck. Now quickly up the floor comes Wright. Gets into the paint, finds the lane. Unable to hit the layup, though.
Most of the Beacons is jogging up the floor that time. You don't like to see that.
Now Zayas driving into the paint. High floater. Doesn't get the bounce. Boy, Beaks are struggling here in the second half. Only 1 of 6 from the field. And now a timeout's going to be taken. And I know exactly where we're going during this break. We're going to Malik Lorquette and that emphatic play that he just had. Take a look at Malik Lorquette. Just driving into the bucket. And Schwartzbeck looks like he was just a little late on the contest. Probably a smart move to just stay where you are.
You got to let coach know you're trying, but you know better than to go all the way in there.
I mean, you'd have to think these guys saw it last Saturday and saw what happened to Avery Hazelton.
Yeah.
30-29, the Spartans on top here. 15:58 to go in the second half. As mentioned, the Beacons only 1 of 6 from the field. But meanwhile, they are holding the Spartans to 2 of 9, but this just goes all the way back to that first half. The fact that the Spartans came back from down 14.
Yeah, Beacons look really out of energy. I mean, the last 2 fast breaks, the team was jogging back.
Let's take a look at Lorquette. Remember, this is the play right after, or one of the plays earlier, Lorquette with an emphatic rejection.
Yeah, he just knows how to put himself in position to get the ball. It's impressive stuff.
Mentioned fast break points. Spartans have 8, Beacons have 4. Here's Zayas with that stretched out defense yet again. Oh, good play by Hunt. Got the deflection. McKenzie, now to Zayas. Now from just inside the arc, Zayas doesn't get the bounce. McKenzie comes streaking in for the offensive rebound.
Mismatch inside, you got to get the ball.
Rodriguez, cross court, Zayas. There's a three-pointer. Remember, Beacon started the game 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. They've gone, now that was 3 of 15. They started 3 of 3, they've been 3 of 15 since.
Ouch.
Mackey gonna try and answer, and he does. How about Carter Mackey, 6'5", freshman, West Oneonta, New York.
You know, he's been a streaky shooter, but he's getting wide open looks, even if you're streaky.
And you know what's interesting that I'm just noticing here? You see McKenzie, he has it stripped to Zayas. That stretched out defense, the smallest player on the floor, is playing down low.
Yeah.
Coach Copo. Schwartzbeck off on the 3. Rebound tip to him. Keeps the possession. Swinging it around. But again, going back to that defense, your center and your forwards are playing on the perimeter as Trey Wright with the and one and has a chance to get a little bit of a gap on this lead.
And I'm just seeing a lot of bad body language from most of this team right now. A lot of frustration with their teammates. Yeah, you know what ends up happening? You get beat, you have to know that your help's going to be there. Somebody has to come and help you out. They're wide open. Foul.
That is the third personal on Manny Zayas. That's now 2 straight games. Been in a little bit of foul trouble here. Wright completes the 3-point play. Spartans get the 4-point lead. Again, this is a Spartans team that's lost 15 straight games this season. And they're 0-12 in conference play. Here's Joy. And this will be a foul before the shot. Reaching there by Moore. 14th foul going against Castleton. McKenzie. Over now to Joy. Joy looks up at the shot clock. Now goes to McKenzie. McKenzie driving. Floater. Gets it. McKenzie able to knock it home. Gets it down to a 2-point game.
The same thing that worked earlier with Zayas is catching the ball already on the go before the defense has a chance to shift back over.
McKenzie now with 11 points. He's the leading scorer. Walsh driving in and gets the layup. Spartans have came to play here tonight at the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. McKenzie to Walden, and that's a kick ball by Walsh. He's going to stay with the Beaks. Shot clock's going to reset to 20.
Still haven't figured out what and face the ball handler.
And not only that, but just the pure size, as I was talking about. Ilua with the hop step, wild shot, and Moore grabs the rebound. And not only that, but they're all kind of close to each other. Walsh, 3-pointer, no. Rebound to Ilua. Now here goes Walden. Walden stays with it to Joy. Now Lorquette backs it out. McKenzie's going to shoot it. He's long on the 3. Rebound to Walsh.
It's just like a lot of fatigue to me. They're not playing aggressively on defense. They're trailing, breathing heavy. Too late in the season to be out of shape.
Spartans have also been very good on the fast break. They've been making them run. There's Wright driving in once again, off angle. What an unbelievable performance here from Castleton. McKenzie to Joy. McKenzie looking to drive. Now to Ilua. Ilua right at the elbow. Floater gets the bounce. Now the good news for the Beaks is that it looks like they're not playing that well, but it's still only a 4-point game.
Yeah, I mean, they're. If you would ask me who's the better team right now, it's Castleton. I couldn't tell you who lost 15 games in a row based off of play right now.
Here's Ilua driving, Euro step to Joy, now to Lorquette. Lorquette, oh, nice find to Walden, and Walden with the easy put in.
Very nice, way to be in the right spot.
And it looks like they're slowly finding a way to try and break that defense.
Yeah, Castleton might be getting a little tired as well, and that's the hope, that they can't be as aggressive on defense.
Walsh going to slow it down here. Off of the screen to Mackey. Mackey, Lorquette with the block on the 3-point attempt. 4 on the shot clock here. Walsh trying to get in there. High runner, no good. Moore with the offensive rebound. Extra possession here for Castleton. Wright Over to Moore. Back to Wright. 7 on the shot clock here. Right, he might get ahead of steam here. Trying to drive in. High float. How about Trey Wright? He has come alive here in the second half. Again, he was our player to watch on Castleton's side of the ball.
Nice move, tough finish. Floater bank shot.
Now to the corner for Lorquette. No call there. Down low for Ilua. Off the mark. Mackey rebound and a foul call.
Beacon started to look pretty frustrated.
Foul's going to go on Ilua. And a timeout is being taken. So 42-38. The Spartans on top. Unbelievable. We'll take a short break. We'll come back to you. The Spartans lead by 4.
Women's basketball taking on Plymouth.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Spartans lead by 4. Again, I just stress it again. This is a team that's 3-17 overall, 0-12 in conference play. They've lost 15 straight. It's been almost 2 years since they've won a conference game, and here they are on top of UMass Boston by 4.
Yeah, this is incredibly frustrating. I mean, this is a late season game with playoff implications, and you're down to a team who hasn't won in a long time. Kind of bad news all around.
And what's kind of interesting, just looking at the numbers, only 4 players have scored for Castleton. Mackey has 15, Walsh has 10, Schwartzbeck has 9, and Wright has 8.
Yeah, they're not super well rounded. They only have 4 people that can score, but their defense is really holding us down.
8 seconds here on the shot clock. Looking for options and a late foul call. Not a smart decision there by, I think it was McKenzie. Shot clock was winding down. He gets his hand in there. Picks up his second personal.
4 seconds left on the clock. You just need pressure. You don't need a steal. You're about to have a turnover.
Inbound to Cahill. Giving it out to Fortsman. There's Cahill once again. Now 6 on the shot clock. Fortsman's going to shoot it, and is short. Rebound, Rodriguez.
Bobby Joe had to really work coming off that screen. It was good stuff.
McKenzie goes to Lorquette. Here's the double. Now to Zayas. Zayas with a deep three-pointer. Knocks it in. Big-time shot by Manny Zayas, and it's now a 1-point game.
It's exactly how I wanted things to play out. Malik is going to get double-teamed, and everybody's going to look at him. Three-point shooters have to just be open.
And we were kind of talking about during the break, if the weak side seems to be open almost all the time, the way that defense is set up by Castleton.
Yeah, all it takes is one player to realize it and flash to the ball or cut back door, and you have something open.
Cahill's going to drive. High floater off the glass. Connects. And I was saying earlier, you notice how the 2-1-2 sort of connected with each other.
Yeah.
Not much separation between all the players as you see the steal.
It's just a wall to block all your vision inside. It's tough.
Here's Moore inside, turns. No good. Rebound off of Moore. Beacons will get the possession.
Yeah, this defense is starting to get a little desperate. You can tell they're kind of chasing after the ball. It's not looking fantastic. We need to really figure things out in the next 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, Beacons normally have the advantage on points in the paint. Instead, tonight, it's 24-18, favor of Castleton.
I mean, their game plan was obviously don't let Malik score points, and they've done that.
McKenzie goes to Joy. Quick pass to Lorquette in the post. Now back out to Joy. Top of the key. Got it to go, and the game is tied.
That's it.
And you saw Jason Harris sort of on the sideline. He was just like, yes, now the game is tied, and it feels like a whole new ball game, at least on their side of the floor with 8:02 to go.
That's what should have been, finding Malik in the post. That's what should happen every single time. Collapse on Malik, kick out to three-point shooters. When three-point shooters kick back on, they're going to have to switch back to man-to-man.
Now we're all tied at 44. As mentioned, 8:02 to go. Yeah, it's just been struggling offense. You're hoping that the Beacons find their rhythm. They're now 7 of 16 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. It almost feels like those three-pointers are going to be so important because the inside is always collapsed, and it's tough for Lorquette or anyone to drive to the bucket.
It's going to be massive. They were making them in the beginning, and then they kept trying to make it when the game changed. Now they have to go back to it, hit some threes, change the game again, and get back to a place where Malik can get some points.
You got some good shooters, though, on the floor. Zayas, Bobby Joy, who just knocked one down. They are a team that coming into today averages 32% from the floor on beyond the arc.
Yeah, got a good group out there. We've got 3 people who can shoot.
Yeah, and what is interesting enough, Spartans shooting 36% from the floor. Beacons, on average, allow their teams to shoot 40%. There's now Hunt going to Wright. Wright surveying his options. He's done very well at the point guard position. Now Mackey left alone, and he got it. Boy, Carter Mackey is feeling it tonight. He leads all scores with 18 points.
All his three-pointers have come from that spot, too. Wide open, looking on.
And Bobby Joy was on the out-of-bounds line. And another timeout's going to be taken here. Carter Mackey, by the way, came into today shooting 31% from the floor, 9 of 29. Here tonight, as mentioned, he's got 18 points on 4 of 10 from 3.
Yep.
So he hasn't been shy in shooting the 3.
He's been shooting a lot, and, that's Malik's man. He's been letting them shoot for the most part because he's kind of streaky, but when he has that dead-on, wide-open look, that's the 4 he's hit from that spot.
Let's see how the Beacons were able to tie it right before the break we just mentioned. It was Bobby Joy who had that top of the key 3, but as you were saying, it was really the play that was developing that led to the Bobby Joy 3.
Yep.
You mentioned it going to Lorquette into the post. Here it is one more time. Saw Manny Zayas. He was the first one to hit, but Lorquette was the one who got the assist.
Gets in deep again. Kicks out. There's not even somebody above the free throw line. They're all down on Lorquette.
And obviously, as you said, the game plan was shut down Lorquette, shut down inside game. And they've done a good job of it so far. Now it's about finishing it off. That final 7:27. Going to be a real gut check time. See how good this Castleton team can close it out. There's Walsh all alone with Zayas. Now Mackey is going to shoot. He's going to be short. Joy with the miss.
That was a heat check there.
Joy to Rodriguez. Kind of interesting here. They've switched sort of to a man-to-man. Here's McKenzie driving in. No good, but he does draw the foul. It's going to go on Hunt.
Yeah, Malik's working really hard down there. You got to find him the ball.
So it's kind of similar to the women's game that we saw before. The change in defense that you saw, instead of that collapsing, that stretched out defense, now you just see standard man-to-man, standard zone.
Yep.
Really looks like all the Beacons have to do is find a way to adjust.
Yeah, what ends up happening is you forget what you're supposed to do. You've been working so hard to figure out this defense that when they switch to a typical man-to-man, you're playing panicky because you forgot what you're supposed to do against man.
Kenzie right now is the Beacons' leading scorer. He goes 1 of 2 from the line. Mackenzie has 12 points and 4 steals. Here's Wright driving in, and you get a foul on the drive. Looks like Rodriguez is going to pick this one up. And now the Beaks are 1 foul away from putting the Spartans in the bonus. This is a Spartans team that does shoot 66% from the free throw. So much like we saw in the women's game. And this is going to be an illegal screen on Mackey. That was going to be a huge 3 by Schwartzbeck, but you kind of saw it on that replay there. He was trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, you can't box him out.
We'll see if the Beaks can capitalize on this, try and tie this game up, or with a 3 could take the lead. Stretched out defense once again. Kenzie just inside the arc, off the rim.
Little something different that time. They started Malik high, and he pinned down that third defender that usually creates that wall. Different look at it. I like it.
Here's Wright shifting to the left side. All the way around the perimeter. Now over the top for Hunt. Has the mismatch with Zayas, and he makes him pay.
As Castleton is looking pretty good. Not making very many mistakes and just playing really solid on offense.
Bobby Joy back out top. Lorquette looking to make a move. He's going to drive. Floater. No good. Rebound Mackey.
Getting frustrated too for Malik. You know, he's only had a couple looks at the basket. It's tough to not have had a shot attempt in, 10, 15 minutes.
Mackey right at the elbow. Now drives in. Layup high off the glass is good. Yeah, you mentioned Lorquette. He's only 2 of 7 from the field and 6 points.
Yeah.
6 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. That one knocked away by Walsh. Now Tommy Burris is going to check back in. Coming up on 5 minutes to go here. And we mentioned the scoreboard at halftime. Lorquette muscling in and drawing the foul. We mentioned the scoreboard. Eastern Connecticut and Southern Maine leading their games. UMass could find themselves down to the 5th place spot if they were to lose this game.
That would be bad because you don't have easy wins left on the.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Rhode Island College, Southern Maine, and Keene State. You have the team you're fighting with, sort of get that home court in the quarter, Southern Maine. And then obviously you've got a historically good Keene State team.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
So now it's getting to, you're getting a little nervous for UMass Boston. Obviously you're not thinking about the standings, but if you do drop this game, it's a real uphill battle.
It is, and you can't get desperate. There's a lot of time left, and you are the better team. You just have to remember what you do to be the better team.
Mackey gets the bounce from the elbow.
I don't know what's going on with Malik, but he just doesn't know where his man is. The shots that Mackey's got have been always completely wide open.
Yeah, normally you see him contesting. See Lorquette trying to muscle his way in. Here come the Spartans. Over to Walsh. Walsh driving in. No call. Put back, no. Rebound gathered by McKenzie. McKenzie working 2-on-2. He's going to take it himself, and he doesn't get the roll. Lorquette does get the offensive rebound. Put back, no. Lorquette fighting, and there's the foul initially. And Lorquette, he's saying, it looks like he got hit in the eye.
There's got to be something there's got to be something called at that point. Frustrating to see, especially when you're not having a game where you get a lot of shot attempts. When you do get a shot attempt and you get beat up, it can be really frustrating.
So Lorquette does get himself to the line. By the way, 4 personal fouls now going on Trey Wright. And Wright's telling his coach, hey, don't take me out. And also, Coach Popo having a tense conversation with the referee.
Yeah, he thinks there should have been a foul call to that fast break over here.
So now it's a 6-point game as Lorquette. He had the 1-and-1, he missed it. Right, goes in, tiptoeing the baseline, now finds the angle. Extra pass, Walsh. Walsh drives in. No call there. Here goes Zayas. Over to Joy. Joy's going to shoot the three. Knock it down. And just like that, the lead is cut in half. It's funny. We've got sort of this energy that it feels like a 15-point game, but they're only down by 3.
Yeah, and and that's the thing, is it should be a 15-point lead, and when you hit that shot position, we have a lot of capped energy right now because we haven't played well. So when you hit a big 3 in transition, we're losing our minds.
So now 3:46 to go, 53-50. The Spartans on top here. Boy, I thought we were going to get sort of a somewhat easy ending here in the men's side after going double overtime.
Yep.
But we might not get the case. Watch this play one more time here. The 3-pointer here from Bobby Joy. Just a simple step into it.
Yep. Best way to get your rhythm going again is just stepping into a 3-pointer in transition. Barely have to jump off.
So it almost seems like, you said it, Lorquette, just the body language and the way he's playing, not looking the strongest, but he still can be a big facilitator.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is sometimes you're not going to have your best games offensively. You have to know how you still make an impact. Not point, there's other things to do.
Now for the Beak, time to buckle down defensively. 53-50. Coming up on 3:46,
Yes,
and Lorquette comes in with the steal. He flashes. Oh, and Lorquette, I think he got caught in the middle of a dunk or a layup.
He thought he had first half legs. He didn't have first half legs anymore.
That would have been a golden opportunity there for the Beaks. Right over to Hunt. Now to Schwartzbeck, shooting with confidence from the corner.
That hurts. That hurts.
Spartans are now 8 of 26 from 3. In this half, 4 of 12. McKenzie backs it out. Zayas back to McKenzie. McKenzie just inside the arc. Zayas is going to shoot it. He's off. Loose ball is going to be gathered by Mackey. And loose ball. Good pressure there. It almost looked like an impromptu full court press there.
Yeah, it wasn't an impromptu full court press. It was a frustration. We got to get this ball back because we basically just had a 5-point swing. We missed a 2-pointer and then gave up a 3. Yeah, there's some frustration and some anger in that defense.
And Paul Culpo is going to call a timeout here. 56 now to 50. Again, really, it just looks like it's going to come down to the offense here.
Yep.
For UMass Boston, you said it all about the energy. Is that when you miss one, you can't sulk heading to the other end of the floor.
No, especially with the team that wants to get out on a fast break. You don't have time to think about it. You just got to get there.
So under 3 minutes now to go. Again, this is a Castleton team that's lost 15 straight games. Here they are in the second half. They're shooting 42% from the floor, 33% from 3.
Yeah, this is almost, a team that's struggling. This is almost the win of the season here. If you could pull an upset at a good team's home gym, that's a big win.
Points in the paint right now favor Castleton 28-18. Fast break points are 8-7. See, this one goes to Walden, now to Zayas. McKenzie looking for options, driving in. No good, loose ball. Hunt has it, and a jump ball is going to get called. And the Beacons are going to keep possession. That's where the arrow pointed.
2 breaks in a row. We got to take advantage of it and do something.
Yeah, it's almost like at this point you got to come up with points some way, somehow.
Yep. 6 points feels like a really big lead right now.
By the way, both teams have committed 12 turnovers in the game. Here's Lorquette inside. Does he have the angle? Yes, he does. And you can see him sort of clapping his hands saying, let's go, let's do this thing. Still manageable. 4-point lead.
Don't foul, don't foul.
There's Wright. Wright's playing with 4 personal. He somehow sneaks through. And we'll see if the Spartans decide to slow it down and take some time off the clock. Walsh.
Yep.
And a foul on Zayas. We saw Walsh kind of just back it into Zayas, kind of like baiting him.
Yeah, I mean, they can tell that they're going to try to increase the pressure, but increased pressure doesn't mean hands-on. It just means being there.
Now, the Spartans are now in the bonus with a 1-and-1 here. Walsh is going to take this one. And by the way, 4 personal fouls on Zayas. They got both point guards, 1 foul away from fouling out. And the first one misses. And you know what's interesting is that even with so much time on the clock, Spartans only had their free throw shooter.
Huh, yeah, they were just giving up the rebound. They'd rather have this pressure set in.
Zayas backs it out, goes to Ilua. 2 minutes now to go here in the game. Bobby Joy, corner 3, off the side. Ilua streaks in for the rebound and gets it in.
Good work.
And now the lead is at 2.
Crash some boards. Now play some defense. Yep.
On a foul called on Ilua.
Just overly aggressive. Just there's no need to grab somebody's jersey. Just play basketball. You're in the bonus.
Still in the 1-and-1 though. See who's going to take it. Walsh is going to take it. Meanwhile, just a tremendous game here from Castleton. Mackey with 22 points. Walsh is going to miss the first, so it's still a 2-point game. Beacons with a chance to tie or take the lead. Walsh had 10 points.
Take a simple look here. Just try to get something easy.
Zayas to Joy. Final minute and a half here. Joy fakes it to McKenzie. He's in the paint, had it stripped. Wright came in and took it away. And now Wright getting it over half court, he does. Hunt, corner 3, no. Rebound Ilua, interesting shot there.
Yeah, 30 seconds on the shot clock from a guy who hasn't shot a 3 all game.
Final minute, McKenzie's gonna drive, go to Bobby Joy for 3, got it! Bobby Joy gives the Beacons the lead.
That's what we're looking for there. It's a big, big shot. I think Schwarzbeck might have took a knee to the nethers.
Yeah, he told his bench he's okay. He doesn't need to be subbed out. But how about that? UMass Boston, 57-56, under a minute to go. Bobby Joy with 12 points here on the night.
That's
now,
big hit.
The Beacons got a lockdown here on defense, as you said. Ilua, heavy pressure here on Wright.
Watch the hands.
Wright
off.
On the isolation. Here's Mackey. Hand off to Wright. 12 on the shot clock here. Wright off the screen, has the lane, and he lays it home.
There's got to be someone who comes and helps every time. You have to come and help.
1-point lead back for the Spartans. Under 30 seconds. Zayas goes to McKenzie. Now the bounce pass. Zayas to Joy. Back to Zayas. Using the stretch defense. Ilua in the corner. Baseline J. Short. Lorquette. Follow is good.
Lock up.
Popo not using a timeout. Harris is going to use the timeout, actually.
It's too loud in there for them to hear it.
Wow, what a stretch here for the Beaks going. They feel like ice cold on offense. They get 2 buckets back to back. And now with 11.4, it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, my heart rate's been cruising at about 75, 80 for most of this. Hasn't been up this high in a while.
Let's take a look at those last 2 plays on offense there for UMass Boston. It started with Bobby Joy tying the game up with this 3-pointer. Off of the McKenzie drive. And then how about Malik Lorquette? When it looked like he was down all game, he comes up right when he needs to be with a huge offensive rebound and second chance bucket.
And what you could tell is Malik knew it was an air ball. Schwarzbeck, who was in the play, thought it was hitting off the rim, so he took a step away. But the best rebounder in UMass Boston history knew where the ball was going to be.
And I want to say that he's hit 800 for his career. I'm going to try and do this quick math in my head. He came in with 789. He's got 15. Yes, so he surpassed 800 career rebounds.
We'd love to see it.
Just keep the lead growing. Now, 13 seconds to go. Defensively, what are you telling your guys if you're Jason Harris?
Help defense exists. So what ends up happening is Wright is coming off that screen, and he has his defender trailing him, and then nobody comes and even makes a move. You don't have to come all the way. Sometimes you just have to show enough to make him make a decision. But right now, the only decision they're giving him is wide open layup.
Hunt is going to make the inbound here. He goes to Wright. Wright playing with those 4 fouls. Wright's going to take it down for one last shot. Here's the drive. Broke by Lorquette! Malik Lorquette with the emphatic rejection. And a possible game-saving block. Lorquette, as you said, with the help D.
Attaboy. Right when I say help defense, one of the best shot blockers in history comes through.
Unbelievable. Trey Wright looked like he had the lane just like he did the previous possession to take the lead back for the Spartans, but Lorquette sends it back.
Love it. Got to knock down some free throws here, though.
And he misses the first. Timeout for the Spartans. 2.5 to go. There's still a chance. Well, what an unbelievable play by Malik Lorquette. Let's watch that play, Steve, one more time. Lorquette helping out, pinning it on the backboard.
Has his back to it, sees it last minute. Love it. It's almost the same play that happened the previous play, but nobody came to help last time.
And you see Wright has just done a great job blowing past the initial defender. And as you said, just find that help defender, Lorquette, in the right spot.
It's also a great play, too, because he blocked it off the backboard. If he would have got there a little sooner, he could have blocked it out of bounds. Could have blocked it back to another player, but he blocked it off the backboard, got the ball.
So now, they're going to adjust it at 2.2 now. That's where the game clock is going to be. Just continues to see the block over and over and over. And Lorquette, look at the energy that he just had. He took out a whole game's worth on that stream.
A lot of frustration the whole game.
So now 2.5 to go.
Got to go the length of the court, huh?
You have Wright, Mackey, Hunt, Walsh, and Schwarzbeck. No one guarding the inbounder. Deep pass, knocked away by Tommy Burris. The ball is going to roll out. And that is the game when all hope was lost. The Beacons somehow find a way to come out with the victory by the slimmest of margins, 59-58.
Man, that was not the game I expected. I expected us to be able to hang out up here and relax and just be like, oh, look at us winning by 40 points. But a win is a win.
And unfortunately for Castleton, they fall to 3-18, 0-13 in the conference, their 16th consecutive loss. But what an unbelievable performance. We'll talk about it more after we come back from break. But what an unbelievable performance by Castleton, coming away with what seems like for about a majority of that second half, we're going to pull the upset.
Yeah, it almost at times felt like they were kind of walking away with it. UMass had nothing to answer for them. So I'm happy to see them pull it out.
All right, so we'll take a short break. We'll give you your final stats. We'll look at how the Beacons were able to pull this off as they sneak away with a victory, 59-58. We'll be back in just a moment.
Women's basketball looking to get a big win at home on Wednesday night against Castleton University. The Beacons trailing Castleton in the LEC standings by 2 games for the 4th spot in the conference. And early on, it would be all Castleton in the first quarter. They go up 15-5 early, and then Tatiana Fevry hits a buzzer beater at the end of the first quarter, trimming that deficit to just 6. However, the Spartans would continue to roll in the first half, up 11 points until the Beacons respond. Meg Dixon hits a deep 3 and cuts that deficit down to 8. And then Dixon, once again, with it at a 10-point game, nails a 3 from the right side. We're down to a 7-point deficit. Sunny Green then joins the 3-point parade with the corner 3 right there. And just like that, we're down to a 4-point deficit. Carrie Ann Freena hits a free throw at the end of the first half. It's 31-31. Heading into the second half, and again, the third quarter would be dominated by the Spartans. Elisa Magro, who had a big game for the Spartans, leads a 6-0 run to start off the second half to give the Spartans a 6-point lead, and then Emily Adams capping it off with her layup down low makes it 39-33 Spartans. Meg Dixon with the Beacons down by 4 hits this layup and one opportunity. She would not hit the free throw. It'd be 39-37. Then we head to the fourth. It's 49-40 in favor of Castleton. Dixon's going to hit this corner 3. Just like that, the Beacons trail by just 6, and they continue to chip away at that deficit in the fourth quarter. Dixon, again, corner, nails it. An 8-0 run to start the fourth makes it a 1-point deficit for the Beacons. Then eventually they take their first lead of the game as Alexa Potter, with the layup down low off the sunny green miss, makes it 52-51 with just over 5 minutes to play. And this is where the game became a thriller down the stretch. Liz Bailey, who...
Another wild finish here from the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. We had a double overtime game in game 1. Now the Beak with a 1-point victory. Here are your final stats. It was not pretty for UMass Boston. You see it right there, and the numbers weren't great. Bunch of turnovers, but somehow they found a way to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, they looked listless for most of that second half. They didn't really know what their offense was doing. They were getting beat on defense. It was tough, but, you know, good teams win out. That was what happened. Hopefully that doesn't slow down their momentum.
Meanwhile, props to Castleton. I mean, no one was expecting them to even come close. I mean, you saw 24-10. You're thinking that thing's only going to grow.
Yep.
Sure enough, they use a big run to end the first half. They look even stronger in the second half. You know, this is a very impressive performance.
Yeah, I mean, that defense was impressive. I don't know what they call it, but it's terrifying. It's like a 1-3-1. I don't know what it was, but it stifled them, and they didn't know how to handle it.
So you're seeing your team stats, your leaders, by the way. Leading scorer for Castleton was Mackey. He came out on fire. 22 points, 11 rebounds, shot 9 of 19 from the field, including 4 of 11. And for UMass Boston, you know, the numbers say that Bobby Joy, Malik Lorquette, Xavier McKenzie all had 12, but near the end of the game, it was Malik Lorquette. He had one big play on offense and one big play on defense. Check out what Malik Lorquette did. This was earlier on in the second half, just driving to the lane for the bucket. Again, full head of steam. Another poster. He's going to run out of room wherever where he goes. And then, of course, he did it on the defensive end. You see just multiple angles on the dunk. He did it on the defensive end, too, with what is now the game-saving block. As you said, coming off the weak side, kind of a blind block at first.
That's that LeBron against Iguodala block. Game-saving. Really nice.
So a big-time victory in the narrowest of margins for the men. They win it 59-58. There's now 3 games left in the regular season for UMass Boston. They're at Rhode Island College, and they end it with 2 very difficult teams, Southern Maine and Keene State, some of the top 2 teams. That will be definitely something to watch for. But, man, Steve, we need to rest.
Yeah.
What a night here from the Clark Gym. Thanks to everyone on our production team, our producer, Michael Vesky, Gina Albano running the controls as our director, Elsa Vanaco, Ali Albano, Colin Ford, Elena Albano on our cameras, Cam Landry on the graphics, Grace Kelly from the replay center, and for Steve McGuire,